Hello everyone, welcome back to my close friend story. I'm your host Sadie. So last week I didn't put out a new episode because the connection thing that connects my microphone to my laptop stopped working. So I didn't put out a new episode last Sunday, and I also went to Disneyland with my partner last Sunday. Before I found out the connection thing broke, I was like, I could definitely put out a new episode before I go to Disneyland, but I couldn't. So that's why you guys didn't get to listen to my podcast last Sunday. Anyway, I am back, and today we're gonna talk about all the things that I have enjoyed this summer, ranging from culture to fashion, ranging from Brat summer to Kamala Harris to all the fashion trends that I've been loving this summer. And I will also talk about what I have been doing this summer as well. So let's start with Brat summer. I feel like this is what everyone is talking about this summer. It's huge, it's everywhere. So what is Brat? Brat is the latest album released by Charli XCX, who's a famous British pop star. You definitely have heard Boom Clap, I Don't Care. Personally, I did become a Charli's Angel when she released Crash. I loved Crash back in 2022. One of my favorite songs of hers is White Mercedes. So let's circle back to what is Brat. Okay, there's a Brat wall in Hong Kong now, and this morning I saw this video, which is the creator of the Brat wall in Hong Kong interviewing people at the Brat wall, asking them what does Brat mean to them. And I feel like a lot of people has misunderstood what does Brat mean. So let me clarify what this album is about and why do I like it so much. This is a summary written by AI. The album's aesthetic, characterized by a lime green cover featuring the title in a blurred Arial font, has inspired a trend known as Brat Summer. This trend celebrates a carefree, party-loving lifestyle, resonating particularly with Gen Z and millennials. It has generated a significant presence on social media platforms like TikTok, where users share content related to Brat aesthetic. So the singer Charli XCX described Brat as her most aggressive and confrontational record, concealing vulnerabilities with hyper-confidence. On her Instagram, she said, "What Brat is all about. It is about me, my flaws, my fuck-ups, my ego all rolled into one." On her TikTok, she said in a video, "You're just like that girl who is a little messy and likes to party and maybe says some dumb things sometimes, who feels herself but maybe also has a breakdown, but kind of like parties through it. It is very honest, very blunt, a little bit volatile, like does dumb things, but it's Brat. You're a Brat. That's Brat." If you have listened to my episode about my experience of attending the #1 party school in America, you would know that I am a party girl, which is why I love this album. There's lots of message on this album. One of them is her struggle as a woman. If you listen to Charli's XCX past album, her lyrics are more flowery language. But this one is more honest, more brutal, more upfront. She's telling you, oh yeah, I am insecure about something, I am scared about something. So stuff like that. This is a more honest, this is like listening to your friend talking about her problems, talking about her own insecurities. There are some message that I really like. The first one is her struggle as a woman, struggling with femininity. I am also someone who used to struggle with femininity, especially when I was growing up in Hong Kong. Some of my favorite tracks are I Think About It All the Time, Rewind. These are songs where Charli's talk about her struggle as a woman. On I Think About It All the Time, she talks about she visited her friends who had just give birth to a child, and she is thinking about whether she should have kids, and she talks about if having kids will affect her freedom. As you know, she's a party girl, she's a superstar. She wonders if having a child, bringing a child to this world will affect her freedom, which is beautiful because I think there's not a lot of songs in pop where a female singer will talk about these issues like so honest, like brutally honestly talking about issues like this. I love it. I think there's literally no songs in Cantonese that where female singers sings about their struggle as a woman. I think it is very relatable. There's a few songs that also touch on the subject of struggling as a woman, very confused about her identity as a woman. Like Rewind, where she talks about how like growing up as a girl, she will burn CD, like she will make these songs, she'll burn the CD, she'll just painting her nails in her bed, but now it's not the same. She's all grown up, she's almost 30. Is totally different. I particularly love the line where she talks about, I wonder if I deserve commercial success. I think it's a very, I like how she talks about serious stuff like this in a very fun, girly, dancing kind of way. She makes it so relatable. She makes topics like this so relatable and so normal. And I feel like a lot of women listen to this album can relate to this. And the second message is struggling with insecurity, especially struggling with insecurity in the context of relationship with other women. My favorite track after my first listen is Sympathy is a Knife. And Sympathy is a Knife is about how her insecurity is showing when she is in the room with this particular girl. She thinks that this other girl looked down on her. She thinks this other girl is making fun of her. She told George, like on the song, she says she told George, who is the drummer of the 1975 and who's also Charli's fiance, that she is insecure and she thinks this other girl is mocking her. And George said, "You're too much in your head." I do find this very relatable. I'm not sure about you guys, but my insecurity and overthinking can be very, very bad sometimes. Sometimes I overthink a lot. And I think people are making fun of me. They're making fun of what I do, what I wear. Like when you tell this to your partner, especially when they're a man, they will usually tell you, you're too much in your head, you're overthinking this. And you will think, nah, you're just not seeing this. You're so naive. You don't get it. You just don't see it as the way as I do. I also love the part where she talks about, oh, even if I want to be this girl, be like this girl, I couldn't. So when I first listened to this song, to this day, I kind of believe this song is about Taylor Swift. I'm not saying everything is about Taylor Swift, although I am a huge fan of Taylor Swift, because Taylor Swift dated Matty Healy, who's the frontman of the 1975, and there's a line in Sympathy is a Knife that says, "Finger cross my back, I hope they break up soon." I strongly believe this is about Taylor Swift because I feel like, because Taylor Swift and her are like the exact opposite, even though Charli XCX did open for Taylor Swift once, I think for the 1989 world tour, I feel like they have even though they're pop, I think they have very different personality. Taylor Swift is like a Barbie, where everything is very girly, but Charli is about like messy, being a party girl. Her and Taylor Swift are very different, and I don't believe there was beef. I think it's more about Charli's own insecurity, and this is what the song is about. I don't think there's a beef. But Charli did open for Taylor Swift, and she did feel like it's not the best crowd for her because she said she feels like singing in front of a bunch of 5-year-olds. So yeah, they are very different, and I think Charli here saying, "I could never beat her if I try. I'm on the opposite. I'm on the other side." Yeah, I do believe it's about Taylor Swift, but I'm open to being proved wrong. I also saw someone said this song may be about FKA Twigs, But let's not speculate on who this song is about. Let's move on from this. Let's move on to the song where we know who the song is about. So on Brat, we have this song named Girl So Confusing. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely have met a girl and I thought they don't like me, but turns out they do like me, and they also think that I don't like them. I don't know if you guys have ever been in a situation like this. Charli also talks about how this girl and her are very, very different, and she's not sure if these girls hate her or not. She's not even sure if herself hates this girl or not. When the album came out, there was so many speculation about what this song is about, and people immediately guess it was Lord, because in the song, Charli says, they say we've got the same hair. People has always talked about how Lord and Charli XCX kind of break out at the same time, kind of have the same hair. So everyone kind of speculated Girl So Confusing is about Lord very early on. And turns out it is about Lord. I think a few days after, or like weeks, I'm not sure time between the album release to the time the remix was released, but pretty soon Charli and Lord released Girl So Confusing remix. It is so iconic. When everyone's speculating they have beef, they released this song to tell everyone we don't have beef. Lord basically came out and said, I don't hate you, Charli. I am so surprised that you have been feeling this way. I have been struggling with my body. I have been struggling with my weight. She literally told us, I've been at war in my body. I tried to starve myself thinner, and then I gained all the weight back. I was trapped in the hatred, and your life seemed so awesome. I never thought for a second my voice was in your head. So this is Lord's verse, and I think it was really brave of her to tell the world about her struggles with body image. This song is really about two girls' insecurity, and turns out they realize they do not hate each other. They feel like the industry always, the entertainment industry is just always love the idea of catfight, pitting women against each other. I think the best line is the forgot that inside the icon. This is Lord's verse, talking about Charli. There's still a young girl from Essex, which is where Charli's from. And I think this is a perfect example of how girls help girls, and this is what girlhood is about. This is what women friendship is about. And they also said in the song that they know that people think they have beef, so they let people speculate. They let the industry speculate this. And at the height of the rumors, at the height of the speculation, they put this song out and tell everyone that, hey, we don't hate each other. We actually would ride for each other. And it's just so powerful. Is the definition of girl help girls. I think Girl So Confusing is the prime example of what does girl help girls mean. The Brat summer trend has definitely influenced my personal style this summer. Like I said, I have always been a party girl, but I do feel like slightly guilty about being one. And I feel like because of Charli, I fully embraced my party girl identity. I don't like, I do kind of feel embarrassed about it sometimes, but because Charli makes it so cool that now I have fully embraced my party girl identity, aesthetic. This is also the last summer I spent in my college town, so yeah, I'm partying not really hard. I think I partied harder last summer, but I feel like I definitely fully embrace Brat summer. And I definitely wear sunglasses more, and I definitely wear sunglasses at clubs now. I think it's so cool. Good. I think it is a good accessory to elevate your outfit. And another thing I really love about Brat is that Charli XCX proved that you can be a party girl, you can be everywhere, you can party 365 non-stop, and still be a lover girl who will shout out to George, her partner, on stage. Like songs like Talk Talk and Everything Is So Romantic really proves that you can be a party girl and a loyal lover girl at the same time. There's not a polar opposite. You can be both, and I love that. And I feel like there's always this stigma around party girls that they are promiscuous, but I feel like you can be a party girl, you can unapologetically love partying while being in a committed relationship. I think you can definitely be both, and I think Charli XX have definitely proved you can be that girl who has a boyfriend at home but at the club at 3 a.m. at the same time. I think the Brat summer reminds me a lot of Barbie summer, which is obviously a very drastic different comparison, because Barbie summer is like everything is pink, everything is cute, it's about being elegant, it's about being beautiful, it's about looking good. But Brat summer is about being messy, it's about wearing last night makeup, it's about being messy. So there's a very drastic difference when you compare Brat summer to Barbie summer. But I do think people who enjoy Barbie summer don't like Brat summer as much. I feel like Brat summer really only reserved to people who really likes partying. And I feel like most people who enjoy Brat summer did enjoy Barbie summer. So I don't know about you guys, but like let me know what do you think about the difference between Barbie summer and Brat summer. For me, it's very different. I think I love them both. Like girlhood is a spectrum, right? Like I think you can definitely be a girly girl who puts bows everywhere, but you can definitely be a girl who like wears sunglasses, like leather jacket, and like leather boots and dance to techno, and it's not like a polar opposite. I think definitely you can be both, but I definitely feel like people who really like Barbie summer don't like Brat summer as much, but people who like Brat summer do like Barbie summer. Does that make sense? That's how I feel, at least. On this topic of Brat, we have to talk about Kamala Harris. You maybe wonder, why is the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, is within this topic of Brat summer? I kind of have this obsession with Kamala Harris' PR image, from her chaotic laugh and silly dance moves to more recent coconut trees.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
All the remakes.
Coconut.
So how did Kamala Harris drag into this Brat summer trend? So when Kamala Harris announced that she is running for president of the United States, Charli XX tweeted, "Kamala is Brat," and Kamala Harris's campaign team fully embraced this trend. I mean, it's obvious that they want to appeal to younger voters. If you go to Twitter, Kamala HQ, which is her campaign's official Twitter, you can see they put a lime green cover with the text Kamala HQ. So they fully embraced it, the album's aesthetic. They fully incorporate that in their campaign. If you look up Kamala HQ on Instagram, you can also see the post, the post they pinned it. It's a picture of lime green and then with the text Kamala HQ in the middle. So they did fully embrace that album aesthetic, and it raised a lot of controversy in the country. Journalists were asking, what is Brat?
Trying to suggest that Harris is a brat?
You take away the A. Kamala is Brat.
It's not the Brat, it's Brat.
My wife was wondering what Kamala is Brat means.
It's not that Kamala Harris is a brat, she is Brat.
And last night I was talking about this with my roommate, who is a political science major, And he also told me, you know what, I actually do not understand what does Kamala is Brat mean in this context. I think it is a marketing strategy, obviously appealing to younger voters. But at the same time, I feel like Kamala Harris do, like, a lot of things she did, like, is kind of Brat. Like, all the chaotic laugh, you know, she has, and all the, like, I don't know if anyone has heard some of her, I wouldn't say unhinged, but, like, very funny comment, like, her comment on Venn diagram.
I love Venn diagrams. I really do. I love Venn diagrams. It's just something about those three circles and the analysis about where there is the intersection, right?
She is just like that girl who said something out of place sometimes, but, like, you know, I do think that that is very clever of her campaign team, and I think, you know, she is kind of Brat. Apart from Brat Summer, there is another cultural phenomenon, a big event we haven't participated in years, and that is the Olympics. I feel like this Olympic is more or generated more buzz than past years. I think it is because the first legit Olympics after COVID. I don't know about you guys, but the Tokyo one is, I didn't really watch it. I didn't really, like, I know the news when some of the athletes from Hong Kong won gold medal. Like, I definitely know that. But I feel like it's still during COVID. I feel like people are not as enthusiastic about Tokyo Olympics. And I wish Tokyo hosted a really good Olympics. They would have blown my mind. You know, okay, let me talk about the Tokyo Olympic, like, for a little bit first. To this day, I still remember how did they announce Tokyo would be the next city hosting the Olympics. They announced it with Mario, and they announced it with Mario climbing the tube, like transporting himself through the tube from Rio to Tokyo, which is really, really cute. And think about how, like, think about all the intellectual property, think about all the IP Japan has, and it could have been so awesome that Japan did host a legit Olympic, a real Olympic. I also read somewhere on the internet that so every athlete, even this year, even during Paris Olympic, every athlete has pin, and they can trade their pin with, like, athletes from all over the world. And I think I read this somewhere else that the pin in Tokyo Olympics have anime themes. Like, there are One Piece pin. I only see picture of One Piece pin, so I don't know if there's any other anime pin that I'm not aware of, and I think that was the coolest thing ever. And I think this is how you get your culture out in the world, is by telling people what you're most proud of. And for Japan, it's their anime. It's just so cool to me. Okay, let's circle back to this Olympic. I think I didn't watch it live, but I think the opening ceremony, I like the part that they feature Marie Antoinette, and I like the night. I like how they utilize the Seine river sign. Shit, am I pronouncing this right? I wonder how could LA top this. Yeah, I love how and I've loved Snoop Dogg at the Olympics. I feel like he has become official mascot of Team USA, and it's so funny. He's everywhere. Definitely did generate a lot of buzz, not just for USA. I feel like everyone in this world is talking about Snoop Dogg and the Olympics, which is iconic. I didn't watch closing ceremony, but I'm so excited for Los Angeles to host the Olympics, and I am excited to see how would LA incorporate the film industry, the film culture, the Hollywood culture, and the pop music. It's gonna be so lit. It's gonna be so cool, and I wish I get to be in LA to see that. I do feel like for a car-centric city like LA would be difficult to host the Olympics because the public transport system is quite shitty, and I'm not sure if LA can host like can like host that many visitor and tourists. I feel like everyone has been talking about it for a while now. Oh, the traffic in LA is gonna be so crazy in 2028. They're gonna use USC and UCLA as like Olympic Village and Olympic Media Village. So because Paris did utilize their most famous attraction, like they hosted beach volleyball under the Eiffel Tower. Like, who came up with that? Like, give them a raise. Like, what? You're so smart. Like, it's so iconic. It's so beautiful. The palace for fencing competition, even the audience is so flabbergasted by the setting. Imagine how the athlete feels like competing in that venue. Like, it must feel so good to like compete in a sport where you have trained for years and in a beautiful venue like that palace. Anyway, so yeah, I am excited to see how they will utilize places in LA for the Olympics. And the other thing I think this Olympics is very special is because I definitely feel social media has changed our way of experiencing the Olympics. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely have seen a lot of the content made by athletes when they're in the Olympic Village. And I feel like this wasn't a thing during like Rio Olympics or like Tokyo Olympics, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention. But because of TikTok and other social media, we learn more about these athletes. We know that they're also just normal people. They like do TikTok after winning gold medals. I don't know if you have seen the video clips of Simone Biles and Sunil Lee talking about making a TikTok right after they won their gold medal. I think they're so cute. I think turns out Olympic athletes are just like us. They want to make a cute little video after accomplishing something big, and for them is making a TikTok after winning the gold medal. I think this is definitely something I've never felt in the past Olympics, and I definitely feel like we felt so much closer. We get a little glimpse of what it's like for athlete. I don't know about you guys have heard about this lore, but there was this guy from Sweden who kept making TikToks about this chocolate muffin at the dining common in the Olympic Village, and it kind of becomes a meme. It kind of becomes a meme among the athlete. Yeah, I feel like through social media, we definitely have more chances to see what the athletes and what the Olympics is really like. These athletes really give us these an insider perspective to the Olympics, which I have never really seen before. And then some of the athletes I really like this Olympics are like Devin Booker. I have already talked about his camcorder and his camcorder vlog on my social media, and I also talk about how camcorder is about to become as trendy as digital camera, because Devin Booker was definitely not the only one who has been using a camcorder to film content on social media. Check out my Instagram if you want to see my analysis on camcorder. My Instagram is Sadie STK. Anyway, I also love Simone Biles. All I know about her is that she dropped out of Tokyo Olympics because of mental health. And during this Olympics, I watched all her competition, and wow, I just like, how could this not tiny human being, the fuck, how could this girl have so much power in her that she can jump to a height that is like 7 times her height? That's so crazy. She has so much strength in her. And then I also watched a documentary about her, about the reason she quit Tokyo Olympics and how she recovered from that. And speaking of athletes from Hong Kong, I love Siobhan. I think she's so strong, and I love the fact that she's also just a girl. She's who would listen to Taylor Swift like I do. I think that makes her, I don't know, I think it makes her kind of like, oh, she's just a human like I am. She just happened to be an Olympian. Like, yeah, I absolutely adore her. I found her very witty. No, is witty the right word? I think I definitely found her very smart, very funny, and I absolutely adore her. Let's move on from all the big events that has happened in this summer, and I would love to talk about the TV shows that I have watched this summer.
Yes, Chef, ready to go.
Sorry, Jeff.
It's all right, Louis.
Yes, Jeff.
So I've already talked about this on my threads. At the beginning of this summer, I have watched The Bear and the Boys, and I feel like these two TV shows are also very popular. I love The Bear. I think is probably better than last season because I didn't like Claire. I think she's kind of like a tool that was used to... It was like a plot like tool that it doesn't make sense to me. It was to a point I was wondering if the writer's strike affected the quality of the show. But season 2, I do have some episode I really like. Richie episode. I love how they incorporate Taylor Swift to his narrative to build his character. And this season, the episode about Tina is great. I was very moved by that one. I'm looking forward to season 4.
I just want you to know that I will forever be your most loyal servant.
Okay.
So anything you need, anything. I mean anything.
And The Boys is so obvious at this point. The Boys is about to end. I think this is a good season. This is solid. I definitely feel like some characters should have lived. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. And then I watch Veep on HBO.
Oh, I came here to tell you that you're a meme, ma'am.
I'm a meme, ma'am. What are you talking about? Speak English, boy.
No, a meme, an internet phenomenon.
Oh, okay.
So Veep is about the politician Selina Meyer and her journey as the vice president. Veep is a satirical political comedy aired between 2012 to 2019. And I started watching it after Kamala Harris announced that she's running for president. And turns out I wasn't the only one, and I wasn't alone. The show's viewership soared 353% after Kamala Harris's announcement. So it turns out everyone is watching Veep, and the parallel between the show and reality is pretty uncanny. I don't want to spoil anything, but like they kind of predict a lot of things. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. So I highly recommend this show because the jokes were very funny. The writing is so good. You probably will not have a favorite character because everyone on this show is very awful. Highly recommend this show. I think the ending was very, very good. I saw some critics say because this show is produced by HBO, it also ended the same year Game of Thrones did, and people said the ending was what Game of Thrones trying to do but failed. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to spoil anything. And I do find Veep is very relevant and entertaining in today's political climate. When the show ended, the actress who plays Selina Meyer said her show started as a satirical political comedy, but she feels like it's becoming this sobering documentary. And the show has lots of clever jokes, touch on sensitive subjects like Israel and Palestine. One of my favorite episodes is that Selina Meyer's daughter wrote an essay on Israel and Palestine, and in the essay she was pro-Palestine, and then it got Selina Meyer in trouble, and the episode revolves around how she deals with it.
No, standard issue, pro-Israeli, pro-Palestinian, but subtly more pro-Israeli statement. I mean, hit F9 and print that fucker out.
Very clever thing they did with the show is we never know which political party Selina Meyer is in, but I think as the show goes on, you will know that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which political party Selina Meyer is in. And another thing I think the show did was very clever is that because the show is about Selina Meyer and Veep, is literally what the show is called. And we never know the president. We never get to see the president Selina Meyer was working for. And I think it was a very, very clever way to put the emphasis on Veep instead of the president. And apart from Veep, I have been rewatching Sex and the City. Sex and the City is on Netflix now, and I feel like there's more and more people rewatching the show more than ever. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people rewatching the show, but I also feel like there's more and more people, especially Gen Z, started watching the show now, and a lot of them still find it very relevant. At least I do. The first time I watched Sex and the City was probably 2 years ago. I think the reason why I started watching Sex and the City is because my mom said it was her favorite TV show. She watched Sex and the City when it aired. She had the whole DVD set. So I kind of started watching Sex and the City to kind of get to know my mom. And I was kind of surprised that she loves this show because she was never very open to talk about sex as a parent. And actually yesterday I told my mom that, you know what, I feel like we'll probably have a better relationship if we were friends. Which is, complicated mother-daughter relationship. I feel like every woman has one. Are you even a woman if you do not have a complicated relationship with your mom? If you do not have a complicated relationship with your mom, you're very lucky. I'm so jealous. Anyway, let's circle back. So, Sex and the City, I do think is still very relevant. I feel like episode that touches on friends with benefit and the hookup culture is still very relevant today. My favorite character is Miranda, but the first time I watched Sex and the City, I think of my favorite character is Miranda because I found her very smart. But now that I have watched the sequel, okay, Miranda in the sequel is not a girl boss. It's very weird what they did with her character. But in the original Sex and the City TV show, Miranda is this girl boss, corporate lawyer who is funny, who's witty, who's a good friend. I love Carrie's Closet. I love her for her fashion sense, but damn, she's fucking annoying. Like, she's so annoying. She talks about big all the time. You know what? In retrospect, I get it. When you're in a complicated relationship with a man, you tend to talk about it all the time, especially when that man is very, very rich.
Honey, you're obsessed with talking about big, and frankly, we can't take it anymore.
And I love Samantha. Who could not love Samantha? Like, Samantha is, I would say Samantha and Miranda is who I try to be, but I also want to be Carrie because, actually last night I finally told my mom that I started content creation as a fashion influencer, and then I told her I'm trying to be Carrie Bradshaw, and then she told me go for it. Yeah, I try to be as open as Samantha. She doesn't give a fuck about a lot of things. She's loyal, she's supportive for her friends. She's everything I want to be, and I also want to be Miranda because she's girl boss, she's independent. I think this is what women should be like. Charlotte, during my first watch, I definitely do not like Charlotte. I think part of it is because she embodies the traditional female characteristic. She wants to get married, she wants to settle down, she wants to have kids. But now that I am rewatching the show, I don't hate her as much. I kind of get it. Yeah, I do find Charlotte pretty charming. She's adventurous. Like, she's like traditional. She is not as open-minded as other characters, which is the reason why I didn't like her the first time I watched the show. I feel like she's such a compared to other characters, she's like very uptight. But now, watching the show for the second time, I feel like, I get it, girl. Yeah, I kind of get her now. Which is another beautiful part of rewatching a TV show is that, or like any other media, or like just maybe rereading a book, is that you have different opinions and views and thoughts about the media than the first time you consumed it. I don't know about you guys, but I just started rewatching How I Met Your Mother. I think this is probably the 4th time I'm rewatching the series, or maybe 5th, but I definitely feel different and have different thoughts than the first or second time I watched the show. Sometimes I feel like, am I wasting my time rewatching TV shows I've already seen? But I definitely feel like rewatching shows definitely will put you into a different perspective. That's all for culture, and let's move on to the second part I would love to talk about, which is fashion. What have I been wearing this summer?
I like my money right where I can see it, hanging in my closet.
So this summer, I started content creation as an fashion influencer. So here are some of the trends I really like. I really like denim on denim. It's hard to pull it off. I feel like if the denim is the same wash, it's definitely easier. But when it's different, I feel like you have to, like for me, I feel like it's kind of hard. But I definitely, it looks good, but I feel weird. I feel weird wearing different wash, like denim that is different wash. I feel like it kind of doesn't go very well together. I think it looks good, but I don't like it. So I prefer denim on denim that has similar wash. Does that make sense? And my second favorite trends I would like to talk about is the metallic trends. I loved and I really wanted. I did this collaboration with Wells Boner, and they make these 4 pair of sneakers, which is so cute that everyone tried to get their hands on it, and it's super expensive. One of them is metallic and one of them is leopard prints. Leopard prints and metallic trends are huge this summer, and I have already talked about it on my Instagram. Again, my Instagram is at Sadie STK. I feel like metallic and leopard prints are huge this summer, and I really wanted that Wells Boner sneaker, but it's so fucking expensive. I will never get a hand on it. But I did see some brands are kind of making similar one. Like Aloha. I definitely see like Aloha making like, Aloha is, I don't know where it's from. Aloha is a shoes brand that I have definitely seen. They make like similar sneakers to the one Wells Boner did. I switched my phone case to a metallic one. It's from Urban Sophistication, and the whole thing with their phone case is that it's kind of like a puffer jacket for your phone, and I think it's so cute because I press on it all the time. I think it's so quirky. It's so me. It's like your phone gets to wear a puffer jacket. Anyway, I love the leopard print revival, but I don't like my clothes are in leopard print. I think leopard prints is very loud, and I don't want it to overwhelm my outfit, so I prefer having leopard print in my accessories. But I do see a lot of skirt and mini shorts that has leopard print on it. However, I feel like some of them are way too overboard. For example, I went to Disneyland last Sunday and I saw this girl wearing leopard print shorts, and I feel like that was the ugliest thing I've ever seen, because you're putting 2 of the most trendy items together, and I feel like that's just too much. So I definitely do not like that. I prefer having leopard prints in my accessories. I thrifted this leopard print heels recently, and my friends got this silk leopard print scarf that I have been dying to borrow. I also level up my accessory games with more rings and earrings. I have always been a silver girly, and I have been trying to level up my outfit game through accessories. And moving on, let's talk about the athletic related fashion trends. So obviously we have blanquette, which combine coquette and blanc core together. What does blanquette mean? It's by combining like masculine elements and feminine elements. So the easiest way to carry out the blanquette aesthetic would be wearing a soccer jersey, and then you wear a mini skirt, mini shorts, or like a flowy messy skirt, and then with a pair of like Samba or like Locust silhouette sneakers. I definitely love that trend. I don't have a soccer jersey. I feel like it's something very trendy, and I do not see it. I do not see how that would be in my closet in a long term. So I personally did not get a soccer jersey. Instead, I wore like athletic jacket with like stripes to kind of carry out the blanket aesthetic. And you can also braid your hair and like put bows in it to elevate the outfit. Another fashion trend I have noticed this summer is the polo core, and I think the release of the movie Challengers have definitely played a role. Challenger is a movie about tennis. I think the Olympics probably play a role in this trend too, because Ralph Lauren, which is one of the most iconic brand that makes a lot of polo shirt, polo sweatshirt, is in charge of the uniform of Team USA. So I definitely feel like we have seen more polo shirt, polo sweatshirt at the Olympics because of Ralph Lauren. And I have always been a big fan of like vintage Ralph Lauren sweatshirt. I love the quarter zip. Whenever I go to a vintage store, I feel like the first thing I check is the Ralph Lauren polo sweatshirt. I feel like that would tell you how good a vintage clothing store is. I also found one in my dad's closet, and I definitely have copied it. Another fashion trends I've been seeing a lot this summer is biker boots, and I also got a pair. It's vintage Miu Miu, and I really like it. I definitely can see more and more people wearing biker boots in fall, and I think it's a great investment because I have made an endless video of biker boots. You can check out my Instagram, and I think that was definitely a good investment. Again, you do not have to follow every trend, but I think investing in a pair of biker boots or just a pair of good boots is totally worth it. I'm also a huge boots person, so I think that's all for fashion trends. So let's move on to talk about what's going on in Sadie's world. So I was in the class of 2024. Like, I graduated college. I did walk. I'm still taking classes to finish my minor. I'm still taking classes, so there hasn't been a very big transition from college to post-grad life yet. But I did start content creation during this summer. And I started because the job market was really rough, and I feel like doing this can put something on my resume. So that's how I started it. As it goes by, I feel like this could be something that I could keep doing as a job, or at least I should keep doing it. And content creation definitely has let me think about my plan after graduation. I didn't know where should I go next. I didn't know if I should stay in America, but content creation has helped me figure that out. I'm so excited to tell you guys maybe 2 weeks later on my podcast, on my social media. I want to finish all my classes first. Content creation has helped me figure out what should I do next, and I will definitely make an episode on how did I make the decision, how did I arrive to that decision. And yeah, I think content creation has helped me kind of figure out what do I want to do after graduation, and I am excited, and I'm looking forward to what comes after college, and I'm excited to see what content creation will bring me. I feel like content creation has definitely helped me kind of figure out what should I do next, and I am so excited to tell everyone about my new plan, about my plan after college. I think I have covered everything, and I'm so sorry about not putting an episode out last Sunday. I don't know if anyone missed me, but thank you for listening, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.